Are you looking for the feel-good family film of the year? Well, look no further. Bring Her Back is a good old-fashioned supernatural body horror, featuring a plucky blind girl, her angsty teenage brother, and a creepy-ass little boy who really would love to eat a chicken, or anything he can get his hands on. Cards on the table, most of what I said is inaccurate. Bring Her Back is not a fun family film. It is kind of disturbing nightmare fuel that was so hard to watch, my wife didn't sleep last night. You're welcome for the recommendation, honey. I unfortunately did not get to see this movie when it hit theaters. I was in the middle of moving. It was a whole production, but it's now out on digital. I was able to give it a watch, and I have some thoughts. Before I get into it though, if you wouldn't mind being like Oliver and just taking a big bite out of that subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, I would appreciate it. It's free of charge. It's a free meal, and that way more of me will show up in your feed. Speaking of feeds, let's feast on this film. Bring Her Back follows Andy and his sister Piper. Mom's been out of the picture for a while, and unfortunately they just lost their father to a shower mishap. Since Andy's just shy of 18, he cannot be the parental guardian for Piper, so he and his sis are gonna have to go stay with a very creepy-ass lady. A lady and another child I mentioned earlier named Oliver. He's a character. He'll haunt your nightmares. I am gonna keep this spoiler-free and not go much further into the plot details. I'll just say that obviously, they're gonna have some situations come up at this woman's house. Something bizarre is going on with her and that child, Oliver. And this poor kid, Andy, is gonna be dealing with some psychological warfare. While his poor stepsister just tries to figure out what's going on. She's blind after all, so good luck trying to feel your way through this situation. Bring Her Back is directed by those same fine gentlemen that did Talk to Me last year. I think it should have been called Talk to the Hand, but it's Talk to Me. I loved that film. It was one of my favorite horror movies last year, or whenever it came out 7 years ago. Everything is like a million years at this point. This movie's rated R for fucked up shit, and it's about 1 hour and 44 minutes long. Now, if you have not seen the movie yet, I guess I will do you the favor of giving you a warning. Bring Her Back is incredibly intense, and it will not be for everyone. If you find yourself waking up in the morning, you know what? I'm really in the mood for a movie that beats the shit out of kids, treats them like absolute garbage, and has a pretty miserable ending, then this is the movie for you. And also, you might want to get yourself checked out, because you might just have the early signs of a serial killer. My wife, who I mentioned earlier, did not sleep last night, hated this film. She does not like movies where kids get hurt or they're put in terrible situations. I myself hate children and people in general, so I was actually really happy when the kids were in pain and in suffering. I'm like, yeah, I love this movie. It's so fun. Give me more. No, seriously, this is a very hard movie to watch as a parent. As an adult, I was a little bit squeamish here and there going, no, please don't. Not like this. Not like this. I see it's highly rated on Rotten Tomatoes, and I can see why, though. It visually looks beautiful. It hits hard. Everything works. The acting is solid. The score is creepy. It has a good build to it. You might find yourself in the first 40 minutes going, things are moving kind of slow. Where is this going? I'm kind of waiting for, oh! And then the other shoe drops. And then you find yourself thinking, kind of missed the first 40 minutes. Can we get back to that? Can we go back there again? The last time I felt this uncomfortable watching a movie, peckish even, was during Midsommar. This is not a movie to take a day to if you're planning on scoring that night. It will leave you feeling a little queasy and maybe even hating each other for having watched it. And while I myself am able to separate this from real-world scenarios, I know that this is just a story. It's gruesome, it's disturbing, but at the end of the day, it is just fantasy. It is a fiction. But there are plenty of people out there that will not be able to handle a movie like this. It just shakes them to their core. They don't want to see this kind of violence and this kind of story told. And it just makes them feel kind of sick and disturbed sitting through it. Which is how I felt the other day watching the new Medea movie. That shit is haunting. At the end of the day, though, a movie like this did its job, and it did it damn well. It gave us an interesting premise. It gave us a horrific storyline. It set the tone and it ran with it. And it does not shy away from showing you things you do not want to see. There's intense gore, there's psychological trauma, there's a swimming pool that has no water in it. Why do you even have the thing, lady? And I think there's just enough lore here to make repeat viewings more interesting because you can pick up things you didn't catch the first time, such as the footage that's presented on the VHS tapes that this woman constantly refers to, and she's really trying to get her beak wet on a new ritual she's trying to perform. And again, for the people that like watching kids get tortured, you're gonna have this movie on repeat all day at the house anyways. I don't need to tell you twice to rewatch it. As for me, I think I'm good at one. It was a very intense movie. It's a really fucked up movie. There's gonna be comments that say, oh, this is nothing. Have you never seen 1975's blah, blah, blah. No, I probably haven't. Okay, this isn't a channel that goes too deep in the disturbed, all right? I go to mostly mainstream movies that hit theaters, not some movie you find in an antique shop next to a monkey paw, all right? I prefer the director's last movie. Very disturbing also, but there is kind of a fun hook to it. This one's just really hard to watch, and that's not even necessarily a knock. You just gotta really be in the mood for this one. So that's my warning to you. Bring Her Back, a very well-made movie. I was fully engaged from front to back. I'll definitely be giving it a fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, but I don't knock you if you have no desire to watch all the same. And I would say in a different year, this probably wouldn't be in my top 10, but as it stands so far, 2025 has been an absolute dung heap of a year for movies. Just an absolute wasteland of trash. I think it might be one of the worst years on record since I've been born. We still have a ways to go, so maybe things will turn around, but my God, this first half, awful. And there you have it, Bring Her Back in at least my top 10 of the year. Grab the grandparents, grab your friends, grab the kids, get them around the couch and enjoy some film. Get the popcorn and sodas, because this one's fun for the whole family. You know what else is fun? Subscribing to Adam Does Movies. I'm Adam, I do the movies. It's free across all platforms, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You can hit me up on Instagram and TikTok even if you want to see some shorts. And hopefully I see you for the next video. I want to bring her back. I want to make her really jealous, want to make her really mad.